A very blessed day, everyone. Greetings to you in the name of the Father, the Creator, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod-Heh, Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. This is Neophyte DAG bringing you another message. Thou art rich, O children of Israel, in the banks of heaven. 2022 is actually 2012. This is what this message is taken from. It's called the continuation of the Black Messiah and the Black 144,000 elect saints. And in this message, we left off at the last time talking about the Black Messiah who's supposed to come at our time. We have gotten enough warning from the Lord in Malachi 4 verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, that prophet, a messenger, which shall come before the great and dreadful day. So we have gotten every indication from the Lord that someone is supposed to come and give us a message. And Isaiah 42 verse 9 tells us the type of message Elijah, which is Prince Louis Jerome Armstrong, is supposed to come at our time and let us know. Behold again, the former things, the things that have already passed, they have already occurred. I shall let you know those things and know the truth behind how those things and why those things occur. That shall be what the Messiah, the messenger, that shall be what the messenger come and tell us at our time. But it doesn't stop there. He's also gonna tell you new things I will declare to you through the messenger before they actually occur. I will let you know things before they occur. That's what you were promised as what the messenger will come and give you information that will deliver you from your past and also deliver you in the future things that are supposed to happen. That's where Isaiah 42:9 comes in. But it doesn't stop there. John 16 verse 13, you have to put that together with Isaiah 42 verse 9 because they're pretty much saying the same thing. Howbeit he, which is the Son of Man, the Elijah, Prince Louis, he shall be the Spirit of truth. What is truth? We have two versions of truth. The first one is God's law of righteousness. That's the truth. Psalms 119 tells you the truth is the law. So that's the first truth that you have to know. The laws of the Most High, the 5 divine laws, the 7 principles of Thoth, the Lord, Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. You have to know those laws. And then he's going to give you information that is not deceptive. That's the other truth, which shall set you free from all the bondage, all the lies that you've been put under in the time of academic frauds and the menticide phase that we had gone through, where deliberate lies, deliberate deceptions were being placed upon us as brainwash to purposefully misinform you and keep you in bondage and in your affliction. Why did these academic frauds and the menticiders were able to flourish during their time? Every cause has to have an effect. What is the effect and what is the cause? The cause was that Romans 11 verse 7 and Romans 11 verse 8 were in effect at that time. That's the time when the children of Israel would not obtain Thoth, which they seek. They would not obtain the Lord Thoth, which they seek at that time. They would not. Only the elect, only the saints were able to seek and obtain the Lord Thoth at that time. The rest were put in spiritual blindness. They were put in a spiritual death. So they were not able to obtain. Romans 11 verse 8 tells you further, wasn't it written that this would happen? Wasn't it written that all of these things would happen? That the Most High would have put the spirit of slumber upon the children of Israel, the spirit of sleep on the children of Israel, the spirit of blindness on the children of Israel, the spirit of death would be on the children of Israel. That's why the children of Israel became the necros, because the spirit of blindness, the spirit of slumber was put on the children of Israel. So their eyes could not see. Their eyes wouldn't see what was in front of them, nor their ears would hear the word of the Most High and of the Lord. They did not hear. Their necks became stiffened, their ears became hardened, and their eyes were put out, so they would not see until the time when the Most High would send back the spirit of the deliverer, which is Elijah, to give them the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So that's what happened at that time, where the spirit of slumber was put on us, and now the spirit of truth has returned to deliver, to wake up the dead, to give them eyes to see and ears to hear, to give them eyes to see and ears to hear. So Elijah has to come and break that bondage free with the information of truth that he's delivering to us. Then he will guide us in all truth, not some truth. All truth. So all of God's law, he has to guide us through that, and giving us accurate information, he also has to guide us through that. That's the purpose of Elijah at this time, in giving you information of the past and information of the present and things that are to happen in the future. Elijah shall come and be that. But Elijah, he shall not speak of himself. He shall not speak of his own ideas, his own opinions, his own philosophy. No, he shall not speak of himself. But whatsoever Elijah shall hear from that, who is that? Who is that? Why is that in italics? We went over that in the last message. Why is that in italics? That's the change that was made to your Bible, people. Your Bible is a coded book. Those who coded the Bible did not want you to know that the Lord Thoth is your Savior, and he's supposed to give you an Elijah that's going to save you at this time. So the Lord's name was changed from Thoth to that. That's the first change I want to bring to your attention on this verse. The second thing I want to bring to your attention on this verse, notice that it's written in red. Anytime you see a verse written in red, that means it's something extremely important about that verse that you need to know. Whatever is written in red, especially in the New Testament, is written because it has some important thing that you need to know for you to be delivered. There's information in it that you need to know in order to bring yourself closer to the light and get yourself away from the forces of darkness. The forces of darkness have to put in to the Bible things that are going to deliver you in order for them to mitigate their karmic release. So you have to get truth in the Bible, and you have to go do the additional work to know what that truth is. Next, in the New Testament, the initiate speaking as Jesus and as Matthew and as Mark and as Luke and as John spoke in parables. Parable is said in one meaning or one story, but it has another meaning. The initiate, speaking as Jesus, spoke only in parables when he's talking to the mass amount of people. When he's talking to disciples, he spoke in plain language. But most and all of the New Testament is in parables. And some of the parables they put in red to show you that these parables are more important that you need to know. Let's get back to John 16 verse 13. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatever he shall hear, doth speak. He shall speak those same words. So the Lord promised you in Isaiah 42:9, I shall let you know of former things, and things to come I will declare to you. He's declaring those things and letting you know those former things through the Spirit of truth, through Elijah, through Prince Louis, because he'll show you things to come, things before they happen, which is identical to Isaiah 42 verse 9. I will tell you things before they spring forth. I shall declare them unto you through Elijah, which is Prince Louis, which is called the Son of Man. You shall know these things before they occur. So it's on you now, my people, to go find this Son of Man, to go find Louis Jerome Armstrong, to go find Elijah, so you can know these former things, these truths that are to come and that have already occurred, and that you need the information so you can be delivered as the Lord Thoth has promised unto you in Isaiah 29 verse 18. In Thoth day, which is the beginning of the age of light, the beginning of Aquarius, the time you're in right now, 2000 all the way to 2026, shall the deaf hear. You shall get your hearing back. They shall hear the words that are written in the Bible. You shall hear those words, because it was promised unto you. I will send you the Spirit of truth that's going to open the truth that's in the Bible. And I'll open your eyes so you're no longer spiritually blind, and the blind shall see. I shall open your eyes and you're no longer spiritually blind, so you can see. You were lost, but now you shall be found. You were blind, but now you shall see. You were deaf, but now you shall hear. All that obscurity will be removed from you. All that darkness shall be removed from you. That's what's promised unto you by the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. Isaiah 29 verse 18. Remember it, my people. The blind shall see, the deaf shall hear. Darkness, you're lost, you shall be found. Darkness, your unrighteousness shall be removed. You shall be delivered by the words of the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek Jehovah, who was ordained by the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vah, Elohim, and the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek Jehovah, ordained Elijah, ordained Prince Louis, ordained the messenger to come here and deliver a message to you, as well as deliver you from all the bondage and the affliction that you've been put under. That's the promise that was made to you by the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek Jehovah. Luke 11 verse 29. Luke 11 verse 29. Notice again, part of it is in black, part is in red. So it's telling you the part that's in red. You really need to know that part. They left the marker for themselves and for you, so you will know that it is important. They leave things in italics for you to know that there's something important hidden behind the italics word. We know one of the hidden meaning for italics, that is Thoth, the name of the Lord. But in this one now, you see, this is an evil generation. They seek for a sign, and there shall be no sign given unto them but the sign of Jonah, the messenger. The prophet is a messenger, the one that was told to you, I shall send you Elijah, that prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day. So Jonah, which is Elijah, which is Prince Louis, the Son of Man, shall come at your time as the sign given unto you. And you have to interpret that sign. It's giving it to you in red. That means it's very important. We go to Luke 11 verse 30, which is also in red. All of it is in red. That means it's very important as well for you to know this parable. For as Jonah was a sign unto the Ninevites, so shall the Son of Man be to this generation. That's the literal parable I'm reading. Now let's go deeper in it. For as Jonah, which is Jonah from the Old Testament, was a sign unto the Ninevites. Nineveh was a city in Assyria during the time of Assyria fall. Now Nineveh is going to have a duplicate city in our generation. History repeats itself each time. So the Son of Man will be a Jonah of our time. Nineveh was a city in Assyria. There is a duplicate city in America which follows the same characteristics as Nineveh of the old. That city is Jacksonville, Florida. So the Son of Man has to come in our time in a city that's similar to Nineveh of the old time. That's the sign that was given unto the wicked, the evil that was asking for a sign. They got a parable. They didn't know how to interpret the parable. So the Son of Man has to come at our time and open up the parable. And he opened it up, and I am now opening it up for you the way it was opened up to me. You have to go within yourself and go ask, is this Son of Man the man that is supposed to come and give me a message? Find your Son of Man. Louis J. Armstrong, Prince Louis, find your Son of Man. This is what the Son of Man came and gave us. Louis Jerome Armstrong. If you look at the topography of ancient Assyria and Nineveh, compare it with modern day Florida Peninsula, you see that there is a similarity. It's a peninsula with water on one side and on the other side and surrounding the entire Assyria. Assyria is taking the topography of Florida. Nineveh, if you match them up line by line, and I've circled them for you in red, the location of Nineveh on the peninsula of the Assyria Empire versus Florida, which is also a peninsula shape in the country of America. Nineveh is where we have Jacksonville in our time. If you look to see Assyria again, you see the Euphrates River, where our Gulf of Mexico is in our time. If you look at Assyria again, you see the Tigris River running on the right-hand side of the peninsula. If you look in our time, you see the Atlantic Ocean running on our right side of our peninsula of Florida. So that's how you do the topography matching up. They're more matching up when you go into the rulers of Assyria versus the mayors versus the leaders in Jacksonville. It matches up tit for tat with the Assyrian Empire. But just to keep you focused on where Nineveh is of old, where Nineveh is of new, because he's telling you Jonah was assigned unto the Ninevites. Jonah was in Nineveh during the Bible mythological story. So the Son of Man is going to be in a location similar to the topography of Nineveh, which is Jacksonville. That's where the Son of Man shall be, and giving his message from that location. That's what I want to leave with you. Also, what I want you to focus on is the Euphrates River. It's going to be very important that you know your Euphrates River in our modern day time is the Gulf of Mexico. That information is going to be very important. Euphrates, Gulf of Mexico, when you match it up tit for tat based on the old Assyria. Tigris River, when you see that written in your Bible, it is the Atlantic Ocean it's talking about. And when you see River Euphrates in your Bible, it's talking about the Gulf of Mexico. The sign given unto the wicked was the sign of Nineveh during the time of Jonah mythological story. And that time is going to have to repeat itself in our generation, which our Son of Man is going to be at our time. That's the sign, the very important sign given to you in red. I'll cover more of those signs in future messages, but the one I want to leave you with, look at the topography of Assyrian Empire. It's a peninsula shape versus our peninsula shape in America. So the Son of Man has to come in America. That's why I can tell you the 144,000 are going to be in America. That's where they're going to be. Let's move on. Matthew 24, verse 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man. So it's telling you the Son of Man shall come in that same transition of this lightning. What is the lightning? It's the light. It's the bloodline. It's the descendants, depending on what plane of manifestation you're talking about. If it's on a spiritual plane, we're talking about the pillar of light that's supposed to come with the Son of Man. If you're talking about the physical plane, we're talking about the bloodline, the descendancy of the Son of Man coming out of the east. So he has to be in the eastern part of the planet, which is old Egypt, which is Mount Sinai, which is North Africa, which we call in our modern day the Middle East, the Mid-East. So his descendancy has to come from there in the physical form, in the light that's coming with the Son of Man. It has to first be generated in Egypt, which is the center of our planet, and then spread to all the other 11 regions of light on our planet. 4 of those lights are in America. That's the spiritual versus the physical meaning of he's being in the east. Now he has to shine that light in the west. So the royal bloodline, so the descendants have to be in the west. What do we call the west in our modern day time? America. That's the west. Where in the west is he going to be? Is he going to be all over America? No, he's going to be in Nineveh, which is Jacksonville, Florida. The light that cometh with the Son of Man shall be in the Midwest. That's the central part where Mount Zion is going to be. And there shall be 4 other channels of light that's coming through from the old Egypt, where the light is going to start and spread to other parts of the entire planet. So there are deeper layers to this. That's why it's in red, to show you that there are layers. layers to the secret, layers to the sod that's buried within this one verse. So the Son of Man shall follow that light which started out in old Egypt, which is what we call Middle East, which is what we call Mount Sinai, and the light that come with that, and that light shall move to the west, which is America, which is going to be centered in the Midwest state of America. X marks the spot, and it's also going to be 4 pillars of light in America when the Son of Man becomes the bridegroom. Now we move to Matthew 24, verse 28. For wheresoever those that are spiritually dead, which we call necro, aka Negro, wherever those Negroes are, which are the spiritual dead, called necro. If you change the C to a G, you get Negro. That's the change that was made to move you from necro to Negro, and this guy's who you truly are. But you are the dead, the carcass. Wherever the dead people are, there will the eagles be gathered. Which country represents itself as the eagles? United States of America. So in America, wherever the Americans are, the people that are spiritually dead in their Christ consciousness, that's where they were, in America. And that's where the Son of Man shall be, because he shall be from among those people. Has to be in America. Every direction points you back to America. No doubt. So the Son of Man has to be in America, and the 144,000 have to be in America. The Son of Man has to be from those people that were spiritually dead, and those were the people of color. In our modern day, we call them black people. So the people and the Messiah, the people and the Son of Man were of people of color, dark-skinned, melanated people, what we call in our modern day black people. That's why I can tell you the black Messiah and the black 144,000 elect saints, because those 144,000, from what we have gone over in the last message, they're not a number of people. There are people that were trapped in a circumference of time, a 400-year cycle of time. 400 years times 360 gives you 144,000 days. So the people that were enslaved, afflicted, voluntarily and involuntarily for 144,000 days, those are the people that I'm talking to you about. Those are going to be where the elects and the saints are going to be taken from. They're going to be numbered among those people. The 144,000 cycle of time, which is 8 Jubilee. A Jubilee is 50 years. 50 times 8, that's 400 as well. 2 ways you can get the 400. 144,000 days or 8 Jubilees. Those are the elect saints talked about in Genesis 15, verse 13. They shall be afflicted for 400 years. They shall be afflicted for 144,000 days. They shall be afflicted for 8 Jubilees. The same thing in different layers of the truth, different layers of the sod, the mystery, the esoteric mystery of what the verse is saying. This is where we ended up the last time, demonstrating what happened for 400 years, 144,000 days, during 8 Jubilees. This is what happened to the people of color in the United States of America. The people of color in America. What happened to them from August 1st, 1619? August 1st, 1619 to October 30th, 2013, because we're using a 360 days to calculate. your time. You don't use 365.25 days. That's a Roman Catholic count. You have to go back to your original Hebrew count, which is 360 days per year. That's how you calculate correctly the 400 years of affliction, which will get you 144,000 days. Or it can also get you 8 Jubilees. Each Jubilee, you're supposed to set the captive free, return the captive to their land, make them whole again, give them back what you took from them, send them back to their family, compensate them for what you have taken from them. But as you can see, every Jubilee is for 8 of them. No compensation, and they try to keep you and dig you deeper into your affliction, deeper into your slavery. None at all. No one was trying to free you or bring you back to your natural state, bring you back to your family, give you back your possession. None of that was happening. You were kept in bondage during the time of your involuntary slavery all the way up until 1863. And then during the time of your voluntary slavery, after you were free, they kept you in that bondage regardless, using all kind of Jim Crow laws and all kind of unjust laws to make sure that you were still in a state of captured, in a state of bondage, in a state of voluntary slavery. But as you can see from this star, as it said, if you shall be able to tell the star and number the star, the Egyptian star, so shall your seed be. They shall be under the energy, the 144,000 days energy of that star, and their afflictors will know the energy associated with 144,000 days, and they'll use that energy to keep your seed entrapped in slavery until I send them Elijah before that great and dreadful day to free them from that energy of affliction that has been holding them for 144,000 days and is trying to go further with it. They're trying to spin that cycle another 144,000 days. But the Most High is saying, none of that. That's not going to happen. I'm going to free these people as I have promised unto them. In Exodus 12, it says, you shall sojourn for 430 years. That is 144,000 days plus another 18,000 days. But during the 18,000 days, I'm going to free you up. I'm going to free you up. So all that thing that happened during that 400 years, I'm going to free you up regardless of whoever doesn't like it or doesn't want it. And I shall repeat, and I will make sure what happened below happens above with that civil war to give you your freedom. As it happened in 1861, run a straight line all the way above. That's where it's going to happen again. 2025. That's when you shall have that civil war again to free you and emancipate you once and for all. But this is the energy that was worked against you for 144,000 days. It has ended. The forces of darkness, the elites as they call it, those who are ruling the planet, want to run it for another 144,000 days. But the Most High said, I'm going to shut it down during the golden ratio of the next Jubilee. The golden ratio of 50 years is 30 years. That's why 430 years shall be your complete sojourning. During a time of that 30 year, I am going to make a great and dreadful thing happen to completely cut off all the evil that has held you in bondage and in constraints. I'm going to cut it off. And I'll explain that timing to you as we go through this message. But this is where we had left off in the last message, and we're going to continue from there. But know that the energy associated with the people that were afflicted for 144,000 days, those are where the elect and the saints are going to be numbered out of. And those are the ones the Messiah, the messenger, the Son of Man, Elijah, Prince Louis was sent to deliver a message to wake them up and give them back flesh on their dry bone and deliver them based on what he hear from the Lord through Melchizedek, Jehovah, even though they have changed his name to that in italics. But know for a certainty that every 400 year as a golden ratio, a spark time within it. So at a certain point in time, during that 400 years, there's going to be a spark time that's going to bring some relief to the people. That's what a spark is. Something explosive, something big, some dramatic event, some spiritual event will happen to make improvements during that 400-year cycle, whether it's being done by the forces of evil or the forces of good. That still remains the same. Everything grows by the Fibonacci sequence 1.618. But this is the American descendants of slaves time chart for 400 years. It ended in 2013. Your spark time was 1861, around that time, during the American Civil War. What happened during that time? You were emancipated, but as below, so above. So if there was a war in 1861, draw a straight line on that circle of the 13-point star, and you will find out the next point there's going to be an American Civil War. That's why I have 2020 question mark. But it has to happen between 2022 and 2026. In another message, and further on in this message, I'm going to give you the exact time. The Most High have information buried in the numbers, as I've showed you. Yod He Wa is a number as well. But that's what I want to tell you from this information right here. Goes back to the 13-point star. 13 points, 12 points on the outer perimeter. And if you put a star in the middle, that's where you get the 13. 12 points, 13 with the extra star, which is the Yesod, which is the Ketha, which is the Yada. That's the Most star that goes in the center of all stars. And the star has to have a circle around it. It has to have a circle built around it. Moving a circle around your star, make it a holy star. Leave your star unbounded. It's an evil star, like this star, which is unbounded. That's why I said it's an unbounded, unsealed star. A dark entity, a force of darkness cannot cross over a circle. So they tend to leave their symbologies without circles, because they cannot circumvent a circle. 13 is you, O people. 13 is you. The spiritual man has 13 characteristics to him. 13 are you. 13 in one are you. The mystical number 13, that's you. You're physical, you're spiritual, you're mental. You're all three in one. You're all 13 in one. That's you being represented by the 13-point star. Within you, you have 7 chakras, which are your 7 first brothers residing in you. You have 5 more brothers, plus your astral, make you 13. And on the right-hand side, that's all the characteristics of you and the features, the quality that goes with each. Take a look at that. But 13 is you. The mystical number 13 within you that's being used against you by that instrument on the left-hand side in an unbounded star. You, oh my people, your connection back to Yod Het Wad Het. You going through the 13. Your 13 qualities, you as a man, and your 13 different spiritual bodies, you as a man, woman. Same information being used to keep you in bondage. This is all the spiritual bodies that are waiting to be at one with you. You have 5 spiritual overself. You have 7 within you. Then your astral connects you to the other 5. Your astral is another one, makes it 8. And the 5 makes it 13. That's your 13 connectivity back to the Most High. Once you get to your Zohar, that's where you're connecting back to your Most High. You're moving now into your electromagnetic and epikinetic body. That's where you're moving into, soon to attach to your Ika body, then to your Gematria body, back to your Zohar when the Most High flip that switch on and turn you back on, to your 5 overself, fully. The 144,000, the people within that circumference of time. You, I'm talking to, O Israel. This is what's waiting for you, coming in your direction. Which brings us back to your star, the star that was used to cut you off from who you were originally. As I've told you, you were the original Hebrew Israelites on this land. You were singing praises to YHWH, Yod Het Wad Het. All of that got cut off in 1619. All of that got cut off. And then these following events occurred to make sure that you stayed cut off. I did the time for you in 360 days, the Bible year, and I did it also in man year, the 365.25. But I'm always using the Bible 360 days. I want to demonstrate to you why a lot of people thought 2019, that's when the affliction ended. But no, that's the time that was given to you by the Roman Catholics when they changed your time and your law. But you're still on the celestial time of the Most High, 360 days per year. So your time ended in 2013. That's when your time ended. 30 years added to that brings you to 2043, 2044. That's when your restoration time is done. You're in full flight mode by that time because the Most High is going to make quick work to wrap things up by 2026 to make sure the kingdom begins to build from that point on, rooting out all darkness, filling it up with light. This is when your laws were changed to pull you away from that 13-point star that you were operating of the Most High and put you on that unholy 13-point star. 1619, July 30th, when they convened to create the first laws to govern North America. On August 2nd, 1619, they came up with a law, be it enacted by this present assembly, that for a surer foundation of conversion of the Indians to what? What are they converting you to? Conversion of the Indians to Christian religion. They passed a law to convert you from your Hebrew religion that you were practicing, that I told you and I walked you through. You were practicing Yod Het Wad Het. You were practicing not eating impure things. They hereby enacted and took you off that and put you on a Protestant religion. A Protestant religion removed you from a Hebrew Israelite religion. That's when your 400 years started August 2nd, 1619. Brings us back to this in order to prove that it's you, because a nation in North Africa is claiming they're Israel. And all kind of claims are being made that Israel is here, Israel is over there. But be not fooled, O my children of Israel. The true children of Israel, the true children of Judah, the true children of Jacob. Be not fooled, because the Most High work with numbers. If you are the people, you have to be able to prove it, not just by telling someone you are and can't prove anything, can't match yourself up to any prophecy. No, that don't work no more. The menticide is done. You got to come with receipt on top of receipt to show that you are Israel. If you are Israel during that 400 years, there has to be something happen on your spark time of that 400 years. Everything in the world grows based on the Fibonacci sequence, 1.618. So if you take 1.618, divide 400 by it, you shall get a spark time. And if you can't find that spark time happening with that set of people, then it's not you. If you take 1.618, divide 144,000 by that number, you get 88,996.9 days. If you convert that to man years, you get 243 years, 0.6602 months. 243 years added on to August 1st, 1619, gets you to August 1st, 1862. When you add on the extra days, the 0.6602, it takes you to March 30th, 1863. The people who are of the 144 have to fit within that date. If they don't fit within that date, it's not them. It's not them. You can't fool the time. You can't fool the numbers. You can't fool the Most High, because he created the numbers. Yod 10, Wad 5, Wad 5, Het 6, Het 6. Can't fool the numbers. What happened between August 1st, 1862 and March 30th, 1863? On September 22nd, 1862, which falls within that time frame, Abraham Lincoln, a black man as well, a black European who were enslaving other black natives in America. He passed the Emancipation Proclamation order. He made an executive order. On that date, when did he put it into law? When did he put it into law and finally free the people of the 144,000 circumference of time? When did he do that? When did he do that? January 1st, 1863, falling perfectly within the Most High numbers. The Most High works with numbers, the book of Numbers. I'll go through the book of Numbers with you one day, but you can't fool the numbers, no matter how many claims you make. You can't fool the numbers, no matter how many claims you make. You have to, if you say you're the Messiah, you have to have 4 pies in your name. 22, that number has to appear 4 times in your name when you convert it to English gematria. The numbers cannot be cheated, people. They cannot fool you with the numbers. Not anymore. You are those people. You fit right within the golden ratio, the spark time as to when something is going to happen to those people during a 400-year period from August 1st, 1619 to October 30th, 2013, the spark time for those people, August 1862, March 1863. Something has to happen within that time affecting those people. Be not fooled, O children of Israel. Brings us back to the restoration time, because we've already covered that it was you during the August 1st, 1619 to October 30th, 2013. That's you. There's no dispute about that. That's you. Now we go to the time of restoration, where the Most High said, I will restore my people back to who they are. I'll restore them back to the head of gold, the crown of gold, which my people need to wear at this time when you do the 30 year based on 360 days. When you do the next Jubilee that comes after October 30th, 2013, that's how you're going to get the 30 years. I'm going to show you that, how it's arrived at. Here it is. A Jubilee is 50 years. Time 360 days gets you 18,000 days. That's how long a Jubilee lasts for. If you take the golden ratio of that 18,000 days, you get 11,124.613 days. If you convert that to man years, you get 30 years, 0.4573 months. That's how they got the 30 years. Your sojourning will last for 30 years. And then you can add on the decimals to figure out what month within the next year you shall get that exact date. When you do that with 360 days, you come up with April 14th, 2044, around the time of your Passover. So that's how you get the numbers. The numbers have to connect. If they don't connect, it's not the people. If they don't connect, it's not the people. We won't run this thing out until 2043, 2044. The Most High has no intention to run this thing out until that time. The Lord has no intention to run it that long. Matthew 24, verse 22, unless I cut those days, unless those days of Lucifer's wrath and terror, unless those days of mankind and human, time of error, time of terror, time of wrath, time of terror, should be cut short, I'm going to shorten it. There will be no flesh left if I let these people run amok and do all the things they're planning on doing. No, I shall cut their time short. No flesh shall be saved if I let them run the time out. But for the sake of the 144,000, those people that are covered in that circumference of time, I shall cut those days short. I'm shutting them down as of 2026. Malachi 4 verse 5, behold, I send you Prince Louis. Behold, I send you Prince Louis before the coming of that great, because you hear the message and you heed to the message and got yourself ready in your belief, got yourself ready in the law, got yourself ready in love, so you will miss out on the dreadful days that are coming for those who decide they don't want to listen to anyone but themselves, because he's going to cut the time short. Daniel 10 verse 16, and behold, one like the Son of Man, one like the similitude of the Son of Man. So you're not fooled by Son of Man's coming out of the woodwork from all different locations. I've already told you who the Son of Man is, what his name is. Go look out for him. But the similitude of the Son of Man, all Son of Man have to have this similitude. And I, O Daniel, opened my eyes and said unto him that stood before me, that Son of Man that stood before me, the one that looked like all Son of Man, his body, Daniel 10 verse 6, his body, how did his body look like? His arm, his feet, his arm, his feet, in the color of brass, the color of brass. What is brass? Brass is copper. The main component of brass is copper. He's a copper colored skinned man. He's a copper colored skinned man, which is a black man, a dark skinned man. This is the copper that we're talking about. Brass is an alloy primarily of copper. So his arm and his feet of copper color. So his head, his face cannot have Caucasian color. That's the Son of Man. It's the Son of Man that say, the Son of Man shall cometh, and he shall be in Nineveh. The Son of Man shall come, and you shall make sure you heed to his word, because he shall come with the words to deliver you. This is the dates of when some of the deliverance are coming. I have to give you the date if I'm telling you things are going to occur. We already established how we got 2043 as one of the spark date. Again, 50 years for a Jubilee times 360 days gets you 18,000 days for a Jubilee. The Most High is going to shut down the restoration at the spark time of that Jubilee. The spark time, you get it, 1.618. That's the spark time of 18,000 days after October 30th, 2013. Gets you to April 14th, 2044. That's when your full restoration is done. You're sitting pretty and doing all the stuff that you want around your Independence Day time during that time. But before we get to that time, you got to create another spark within that spark. You're going to take the 11,124 days of the first spark and spark it again. Divide it by 1.618 and you get 2032. That's when another significant event is going to occur to affect that spark 50 years. You take 6,875.38969 days, spark it again, divide it by 1.618, you get 2025. That's when another significant event will occur during that 30-year period. You spark again 4249.22498, you divide it by 1.618, you get to 2020. That's how you measure each spark time within that 30-year period. Each spark time within the 30-year period, you're taking the spark of the spark of the spark of the spark. That's how you arrive at the spark time within that 30-year period. So let's look at the years. Didn't things go crazy in 2020 leading up to 2021? Didn't things go way out of whack the end of 2020 moving into 2021? Wasn't COVID and all kind of variants running rampant? Weren't you can't go here, you can't go there without masks? You have all kind of mandates running all over the place. Wasn't that going on in 2020 to 2021? Wasn't there a significant change from the way you were happy and moving about in 2019? In 2020, that all changed. You've been trying to go back to normal ever since that time. No normal, that's done. That's the spark for 2020. The next one is coming in 2025, which I'm telling you, 2026 is when all of this is done. That's the wrap-up time. 2025, that's when you are going to see that civil war and the world war that shall be on America's soil. As below, so above. As below, so above. As below the American Civil War, so above the start of the Second Civil War, as below the First Civil War, 1861, as above 2024, 2025, the next Civil War. The numbers do not lie, people. The numbers do not lie. That's why I could tell you the timeline leading up to 2043, these years are going to be significant years. 2032, oh, that's going to be sitting pretty as well. The Most High is going to cut things short by 2026. All of this is wrapped up. 2025, look out for that year. 2024, look out for the start. 2025, look out for the chaos and the turmoil. This is how you calculate the 2020 starting off of the first spark within that 30 years. This is how you get it in the Bible. Daniel 12 verse 7 tells you about how you can calculate the timeline using the Son of Man. Date of birth, when he's going to spark, then add another times, and half a times to it, it will take you up to September 23rd, 2020. That's when the 2020 events are going to kick off, and it indeed kicked off with Corona and all kind of virus thing, and all kind of breaking your normal behavior, all kind of breaking your normal routine, all kind of breaking your normal work environment occurred. The next one, remember people, 2025. Also, Revelation 8 verse 1 tells you again how to get to that 2020 date. The silence in heaven for a space of half an hour. The silence started when the seventh seal was opened in the year 2000. If you take 1,000 years divided by 24 hours divided by 2, you get 20.83 years. That's how long the silence will last. If you add that to January 1st, 2000, it brings you to October 30th, 2020. 3 different ways we get to the year 2020, the end of 2020, when things are going to go all out of shape and break all your normals. Never going back to that normal, because you're transitioning into the age of light, and all that normal that you knew in the age of darkness has to go with it. In that time, also in that 2013 time, leading up to 2020 time, the times of the Gentiles shall be fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles shall be fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles shall be fulfilled. But my disciples, 144, that's represented, of the American descendants of slaves, shall stand strong in the holy place, Mount Zion. X marks the spot. They shall stand strong and they shall not be moved. When all the calamities are happening to the wicked, when they're running back and forth, don't know what to do, and they shall be cursing the Most High, because he delivered Exodus and moved out his chosen people before those calamities struck. They shall not be moved in those 12 holy places that are spread across the entire planet. 4 of them is in North America. The other 8 is in the rest of the world. But they shall stand strong in those locations and not be moved. That's why I want you to be a part of the great, because the dreadful is going to be among these wicked men, cursing the Most High and dying. And I don't want that for you. Doctrine and Covenants 45:32. I want you to be in the holy places, standing strong and shall not be moved. Not cursing the Most High and dying because you didn't listen and you don't remember that you weren't listening at that time. You'll be blaming everybody else but yourself. But you cannot say the Most High did not send you the message. You've been duly notified. Daniel 12 verse 1. And at those time, which is the time right now, 2022 to 2026, Michael, the Son of Man, Prince Louis shall stand up, that great prince. Prince Louis shall stand up, that great prince, which standeth with power, the right-hand power, the left-hand power, the political power to bring Israel together, the social power to gather Israel together, to gather the people that are representative of the 144, he shall gather them. The children of Louis, they shall be called. The children of Israel, they shall be called. And there shall be a time of trouble. There shall be a time of trouble. There shall be a time of trouble, such as never was seen before, since that nation, United States of America, has been formed. Even to those that same time, even to those that same time, and at those time, his people, the righteous seed, shall be gathered. They shall exodus and be gathered and moved to a safe place where all that calamity, all that trouble cannot touch them. They'll be standing strong, standing firm, and not cursing the Most High and dying. Everyone, people, I'm telling you, those shall be found written in the book, even though they have hid him and changed his name to that and make it italics and all kind of different things they did to his name. Those shall be found in the Holy Bible, and you shall know who has sent your deliverer to free you from your slavers, to free you from your bondagers, to free you from your academic frauders, to free you from your menticide. Matthew 25 verse 6, and at midnight, which is the start of a day, the age of light. Midnight or night is the time of darkness. It's used to represent the time of darkness. When you hit midnight, you're starting a new day. So that's why it says at midnight, which is the end of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius, the age of light, there was an announcement made, people. You're going to hear that announcement. It will be made. It will be made. That great sign will come and you will get that announcement. No matter what part of the country you're in, no matter what part of the world you're in, no matter if you're buried deep in a cave or you're buried under the ocean, you shall hear that cry. You shall hear that cry. You shall see that great sign. You shall see those lights stretching from the kingdom of heaven, landing on the earth in those 12 locations I told you about, those holy cities. 4 lights shall be over the United States of America, 8 over the rest of the world. The bridegroom cometh. Behold, the bridegroom is here. Behold, that light is here. Behold, the pillar of light is here. Behold, Michael the messenger is here. Behold, the Son of Man. Behold, Prince Louis. Oh, he cometh. He cometh. He cometh. You shall now go out and meet him. You shall do your exodus and be gathered with the Son of Man at that time. Revelation 14 verse 1, where the Son of Man is standing in Mount Zion with the 144, all those people that are representative of the American descendants of slaves. They're standing strong. They're the first resurrected. They're standing in their place, strong and not moved, with the Son of Man. And I look, lo and behold, the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, which is in the Midwest of America. And with him are those people, the American descendants of slaves that went through the 400 years of slavery and have made themselves ready now to return back to the Most High. Having the Most High's name, having the Most High seal, that means he have sealed their 5 spiritual body onto their physical body, making them the perfect 13 in one. Making them the perfect 13 in one. That's the seal that's being talked about. It's going to be written in their thoughts. These are the people that are honoring, praising, and glorifying the Most High. And the Lord, the Most High, Allah, Yah, Yod, Het, Vau, Het, Elohim, and the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah. These are his people. And right now, you're in the preparation phase, because before these great disasters shall be allowed to occur, seal portion chapter 88, verse 59, before these disasters, the day of dread, the day and the dreadful, before the dreadful shall occur, you shall be allowed to get rid of your stumbling blocks. The elect shall be allowed to get rid of their stumbling blocks. That's the things that's preventing them from worshiping and honoring and moving back their thought to the Most High, moving back to the plan of the Most High. When the elects have received the fullness of what they need to do by tying themselves to the Son of Man, tying themselves to Prince Louis, tying themselves to the energy and the spark of Prince Louis. Then the seal shall be printed in their forehead. Then the seal shall be printed in their thoughts, and they shall begin to prepare themselves the right way for the coming of the bridegroom. Make yourself ready when you get this message. Don't let it go to waste. Make yourself ready, O children of Israel, children of Judah, children of Jacob. Make yourself ready. Tie yourself in to Elijah, Louis Jerome Armstrong, the prince. Tie yourself in with the love of the Most High for your fellow man and woman. Do right to people around you. Do right as you would want them to do unto you. And believe in the Most High and the Lord. Believe that what they're telling you, written for you in the Holy Bible, waiting for you once it's properly interpreted and translated, that you believe and know that the Most High is coming for you. Prepare yourself, because the Son of Man, Prince Louis, at that time, King Louis shall stand strong in Mount Zion with the 144, the people that are of the descendants of slaves in America, and they shall have their seal. Mount Zion, where is it? Where is this location of Mount Zion? We've been told it's all over the place. No, it's not. One of these capital, which is going to be called the city of Zion, which shall be upon this land. Seal portion 93, verse 36. Which land are they talking about? Which is the land of the Nephites? America! No dispute about that. So the city of Zion shall be upon this land in America. And Mount Sinai, which is Old Jerusalem, shall be in North Africa, where the Giza Plateau is. That's the old Egypt. But it shall be Mount Sinai, the other capital. And those that are of the city of Enoch, which is right where Zion is right now, but you just can't see Enoch. He's in another dimension of time. He shall enter into Zion, which shall be known as what? New Jerusalem. What is in Jerusalem? USA. J-E-R. U-S-A-L-E-M. And they shall meet with the elect. Weren't the elect standing with the Messiah in Mount Zion? Didn't that what they tell you here? The elects with King Louis are standing in Mount Zion. Different place here? No, it's the same place, the same people, the elects of God who shall be standing in the city of Zion, also known as New Jerusalem. With that said, my people, with that said, stand strong, O children of Israel. Stand strong, O children of Judah. Stand strong, O children of Jacob, in the name of the Most High, the Creator, Allah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He, Elohim, God in our modern day name, and in the name of the Lord, Thoth, Melchizedek, Jehovah, praise be unto you, always and forever, and for sending us the deliverer, Prince Louis, soon to be King Louis.